What is up, beautiful people? How's everyone doing tonight? So, I'm Trudy Achman. If you don't know who I am, advocate and educator on CBD oil, an amazing company that sells CBD products. Tonight, I am going to be from last week's giveaway. Hey, Brittany. One of these two, you get a choice, whoever wins tonight, and then the other one will be next week. If you're tuning in live, drop a 1. And if you're watching a replay, drop a 2. So the drawing will be at the end of the video. Hey, Heather, beautiful. And then, like I said, on next week, we'll do the drawing. So the rules to be eligible for the giveaway drawing for next week, you guys will have to like this video. You'll have to comment on this video, where you're from, where you're tuning in from, and share. Hey, Liz. Brian, you are here. Hello. So also, I just want to let you guys know that today is the end of the month, the last day of the month. Hey, Christy, love you. And I'm going to do a little promotion with, so I think I'll do a 10% off on your entire order if you order before midnight. And also we are, let's see, I'll do a 10%. If you've been thinking about joining me to promote this amazing product and all, CBD oil, but all of our other products as well, now's the time. Yeah, just come on board. You won't be alone. You won't be disappointed. It's going to be amazing. So let's see if our guest is ready. We have a special guest, Mr. Brian Larche. He is the owner of, I don't want to say it wrong because I've been kind of saying it wrong all day. Riverland, Dodge, Jeep, Chrysler, and Laplace. I'm sorry. But anyway, let's see where he is on here. I haven't done this. I might be able to, let's see, add Mr. Brian. Happens. Let's see if we have success. Waiting. Oh, look at that. Yes. Hello. How are you tonight?
I was worried I was going to have to get my 2-year-old granddaughter to come show me how to do this.
I know. I'm like, I'm still kind of learning myself. So last time I had a guest, they were at the top of the screen, and I was like, it's going to work out. It's going to work out. So everyone, welcome Mr. Brian Larche. Again, he's the owner of, I always say it wrong. I'm so sorry. Riverland. It's Riverland, Dodge, Jeep, Chrysler, and Laplace, correct?
And Ram truck.
And Ram truck. Oh, my favorite type of truck. We bought our last truck from you. Matter of fact, we have bought many of vehicles from you. So I'm just so excited to have you. I thank you for being here and come and share your testimonial.
Great. So, appreciate the invite.
Yeah, if you want to just get started, that would be wonderful.
Okay. You know, I'm not sure how long you want this to go on because it's a rather lengthy story. So I'm going to try to just give you the gist of the story. But about 4 years ago, I developed a problem with my smell. And I didn't know it back then. And I didn't really know it till about a year ago when I finally got diagnosed. It was a problem where I smelled cigarette smoke all the time. As crazy as that sounds. And I'm not a smoker. I used to be a smoker, but nobody in my family smokes here. My wife doesn't smoke. And I developed this sense of smell, a smoke smell. And it happened about 4 years ago, right after we got our air conditioning unit changed in the house. So I throw it back at these people crazy, thinking there was something wrong with it until I realized, well, my wife, she never smelled it. So I was the only one smelling, number one. And then number two, it started happening in other places besides my home. It started happening to me at work, and we have a condo in Orange Beach. So I was 250 miles away from my house, and I started developing the same smell. So it took a while, but I finally went to see a doctor, and actually Dr. Montague here in Slidell, Laplace. And,
Mm-hmm.
He just prescribed an antibiotic for me, thinking it was just a basic sinus infection. So I took that, and that didn't help. And it just continued on and got worse and worse. So I finally went back to him and kind of begged him. I said, you got to figure out what's wrong with me. And so he said, see an ENT. So fortunately, I have a friend that's an ENT in Slidell, Louisiana, and I went to see him. And he basically knew what was going on, because it's a rare thing, but there's thousands of people that suffer from this out in the world. And, I think you've joined the support group on Facebook called Phantosmia, I'm sorry. It's a support group, and there's thousands of people on that page that basically have the same thing I have, and suffered with it, and still suffering with it, and don't know what to do. When I went to see the ENT, it's been about a year ago. He knew what it was, and he referred to it as olfactory hallucinations. As crazy as that sounds, but it's basically you smell something that's not there, and it's your brain playing tricks on you.
Okay.
His concern was it was caused by, sometimes it's caused by tumor or previous head trauma, which I showed up negative for that. I had the MRI scans. As a matter of fact, I had a brainwave scan, and it was, everything came back normal, but I still had the condition. So they termed it idiopathic phantosmia, which basically, phantosmia is the smell that's not there. It's a phantom smell.
Okay.
But no known reason. So I started seeing a neurologist at Oxford Hospital, and he was aware, and he treats people for this, and he started me on basically gabapentin, which is an anti-seizure medicine.
Okay.
But I think if you read about that, being with the opioid crisis, doctors are prescribing this for all kind of reasons now, and I had terrible side effects. I mean, it had me where I couldn't walk. I mean, I couldn't walk stable. I was falling all over myself. I was having trouble putting sentences together, and I went back and they changed the prescription, put me on a time release form of gabapentin. But anyway, make a long story short, it gave me some relief, but it didn't get rid of it. But I on my own, I started doing a lot of research on phantosmia. As a matter of fact, I even went to an institute in Chicago a few months back and had a lot of extensive tests done on my taste and smell, which my taste and smell are perfect. It's just sometimes I'm smelling something I don't want to smell, right?
Okay, wow.
But anyway, on my own, I started doing a lot of research on phantosmia, and it is a brain disorder of some sort. And it's caused by, it could be like little seizures in the front part of your brain. But anyway, when I started researching that, I started researching the benefits of CBD oil. And I'm thinking, if I'm having some kind of little seizures or something like that, or, my nerves in my brain are playing little tricks on me, would the CBD oil work?
Okay.
So on my own, I told you the story. I went on my favorite place to shop, Amazon,
Mm-hmm.
and I ordered the top rated oil, and I got it in, and it was basically, it didn't do anything. And that's when I saw you had posted something about your oil, and I sent you pictures of the front and back of the bottle, if you remember, and it wasn't full spectrum pure like what you have. So I ordered yours, and I started taking it. And I must say, it was within 3 days, it was gone, the smell. And since I started taking it, I've had one episode where it came back one morning, and I just put 5 more drops under my tongue, and within 5 minutes, it went away.
Let me ask you a question. So what happened during that episode? I was just curious, what was the symptoms?
It just comes on like somebody's holding a cigarette. The raw smell of a cigarette smoke, like when you actually smell it coming off the end of the cigarette. I'm not talking about inhaled smoke. I'm talking about that strong barroom type cigarette smell.
What
But
about,
anyway, it went away, you know.
okay.
So I actually had a follow-up with my neurologist, and I went to him, and this is a great guy, and he's one of the top-rated neurologists at Oxford, and came highly recommended by somebody I know. And I bellied up. I didn't want to at first because, you know, there's so much, you know, funny feelings about people with the CBD oil, and it's kind of new and it's making a big splash on the market. But, you know, I told him, I said, you know, Doc, I got to tell you, I think I fixed myself. I mean, I think I found something that's helping me. And
Wow.
he said, what is that? And he knew I was having trouble with the medication, so he was trying to adjust that back and forth, you know. But anyway, I told him what I was doing. I said, you know, I did some research on CBD oil, and I started using it. And I said it was almost like within days, I said my symptoms went away. And, you know, when they went away like that, Trudy, so fast, I knew I was on to something, you know. So he leaned back in his chair, and I was expecting the negativity, you know, about, you know, FDA and this and that. And he didn't. He came, his exact words was, he said, you know, there's a lot of studies going on right now with big pharmacy companies as far as cannabis and the benefits of it. And he said, you know, he said, we've been treating kids with epilepsy for years. Wow. And they go seizure free. And I mean, this is coming out of a neurologist's mouth. I'm not making this up. This is true. And he, you know, he asked me how much I was using, and I told him, you know, and I mean, I got his blessing. And it was since then I'm totally off the medication. I've got a lot of arthritis problems in my feet. I've had a lot of bone joint surgery in my feet, and I was taking an anti-inflammatory every day. I've actually put those up.
Wow.
Because it's helped with that part. But you know, the phantosmia, which is, there's a lot of people suffering from this, and it is a little nerve thing that's going on in the brain. But the way he described it to me was, he said, basically what the cannabis does, he said, it's doing the same thing I was giving you the prescription for. It's interrupting the fast receptors of your brain that's causing your problem. So he understood it. They know about it. I mean, these guys know that there's a lot of studies going on right now. And, you know, all I can tell you is he thanked me for sharing. As a matter of fact, every time I go to auction, I got a room full of residents because they all learning from it, you know. And one little girl resident thanked me. She goes, you know, thank you for sharing your story, because this is something that we don't learn in medical school. But anyway, long story short, you know, it's something I've been suffering with for 4 years, and it has gone away. And I really believe it has something to do. I don't believe it has something to do with the oil. I'm 99% sure it is the oil.
Yeah.
But more importantly, you know, with the blessing of a neurologist that's on this subject. I mean, he knows about it. He treats people for it. So, you know, I'm just curious if people coming to see him, if he's actually telling them go buy some CBD oil at this point, you know, because I think I'm really the first one that shared that with him, that, you know, this particular problem I had, that the CBD oil worked.
Yeah, because it could be, you know, like you feel like you don't want to offend a professional per se. Like you said, you were a little bit reluctant to do that. But I mean, Brian, you know, I'm hoping in you sharing your story, you know, I never heard about it. Although you said there are, you know, thousands of people that have this disorder. I guess it's a disorder, right?
It is
a condition, a disorder.
It's a neurological disorder.
But
you know, and to be honest with you, there's probably people out there that's watching this right now saying, "You never told me you had this." You know, I really didn't share with a lot of people, because when you tell them you're smelling phantom smells, they think you're crazy. You know, and I'm not crazy. You know,
right?
But
of course,
it was a scary thing, because, you know, there's so many things that can cause it. You know, and one of them was a tumor, and that's the most common cause. But that turned out to be, thank God, it turned out to be negative.
Amen.
You know, so it was just a little bit of these receptors, or whatever you referred to as the fast receptors, that needed to be calmed down. And like I said, after 4 years, it's been a blessing.
Awesome. It warms my heart. This is why I'm doing this. You know, just to get the word out, because there's been such a stigma about it. You know, people are misconceived about CBD. So, like I said, I'm just grateful that you came on and shared your story. it's just amazing. Sometimes and I say that all the time. I sit down and cry. I get messages and texts and people thanking me. So I'm going to continue to be an advocate and an educator on it. And I hope you will as well. That's my mission.
Definitely. I've researched CBD oil a lot, and I know there's a lot of stuff out there that's not the real deal. Obviously, I've wasted $90 on something that wasn't the real deal. Bought it off Amazon, but I can promise you, your stuff's the real deal. And if people are skeptical about this, do the research and see. I mean, it's amazing because there is a CBD group also on Facebook.
Yeah.
That people share their stories with. I'm not sure if you ever looked at that, but I spent a lot of time on that, and I've shared on both of those sites, my experience. Matter of fact, luckily today with the administrator of the Phantosmia page, because she was kind of skeptical at first,
right.
But then she actually sent me a message today saying, "I'd like to know more."
Oh,
and I mean, she's administrating a site that's got thousands of people on it that are suffering from this. So hopefully it helps them.
Awesome. Okay, well, I'm going to try to, I'm going to tell you goodbye. I mean, I want you, of course, to keep watching, but again, I haven't practiced this, so is there maybe on your end that you can discontinue? Is there like an X button? Let me see. Let me look on here.
I don't have one on my end, so you got to do the breakup.
I'm gonna break up with you, Brian. Wow. So I would have thought maybe.
That I have an X at the top box. You want me to try to click that?
I think that's what we're gonna have to do. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And if it cuts off, I'll tune you back in.
Okay. Thanks so much.
No problem. Good night.
Good night. Let's see what happens. All right. Hey, I'm back, guys. That was the wonderful Mr. Brian Larche. Scrolling through some of you guys' comments, seeing who's on here. Hey, Selena. So again, you guys, let me know if you're here. Drop a 1 if you're watching live. I'm not seeing the comments. I don't know if they went away or if we're still broadcasting live. I hope so. If you're tuning in the replay, drop a 2. And again, to be eligible for the drawing for one of these amazing oral nutritional sprays, like this video, share this video, and comment where you're watching from. I hope I'm not breaking up because I see a message here, low network connection. So maybe that's why I'm not seeing you guys' comments anymore. Let me do this. I'm going to continue to keep going. Again, mentioning the last day of the month sale I'm doing. It's going to be 10% off of your entire order. I do see some likes and some hearts, but comments I do not see, and I want to answer you guys. I'm just not seeing it come through, and it may be the low network connection. So again, back to the sale, 10% off sale, your entire order before noon. And if you've ever thought about joining me in promoting the wonderful CBD oil and all of our other amazing products, get with me tonight before midnight as well. That's going to be 10% off. I'm going to disconnect my phone from my holder because let me see if I can flip it. Nope, that won't work. Nope, I can't turn, it says. So I will turn the screen around. I have everyone here that followed the rules. God, I wish I seen you guys' comments. I'm not sure what's going on. Really, really upsetting. But I have these people here. Like I said, I'm going to keep on going. Yvette Miner, Christy Newhouse, Tonya Morzelli, Andrea Lewis, Liz Guidry, Connie Vicknair, Rachel Keller-Zarang, Ronnie Moore, Amy Sheets, Jennifer Moran, Sonia Smith, Shannon LeBlanc, Elsie Combe, Troy LeBlanc, Heather Stringer, Brenda Dewey Farrell, and Desiree LeBlanc Verdon. So let's see. Again, guys, I am so upset that I cannot see your comments, and I apologize. I'm going to go back and try to do that. So let's click to spin to see who wins. Hope you guys are still connected and watching. What? Are you kidding me? Miss Christy Babin Newhouse. All right. You are the winner, ma'am. So just drop me a comment on, I can see the likes, I can see the loves, but again, I can't see the comments, but I will go back. Drop me a comment if you want to try the Peak. I can give you more details on it, or the Trim 365. And let me turn this back around. Uh-oh, gotta adjust there because it's not in the holder anymore. So anyway, I want to tell you guys thank you, and that I love you. I just appreciate the support that everyone has been giving me. I appreciate again Mr. Brian Larche for sharing his testimonial, and I hope you guys all have an awesome night and be well. Bye.